Kunjue Li is an actress and former model, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. And she has a long list of film credits and appeared on several TV shows, and one of them was Ripper Street. So let us start right away with that, because it is basically right up my street. So maybe we can start a bit with you telling us a bit about what shooting Ripper Street was like.
It was fun. It was one of my first period. No, Peaky Blinders was my first job, and then Ripper Street was my second job. I was like, wow, it's a huge production. And I remember when I went to audition for it, because they're looking for gorgeous women. Like literally on the script, it's a carriage stopping beauty. So when I went to audition, oh, thank you. I went to audition for it, and then everyone's so beautiful, and they're mixed race, and I was like, oh, should I lie about my inheritance? But I was that desperate. I'm still am. And so I did the scene, and then I improvised a poem in Chinese because it felt in that moment. And then they saw me again, and then I got the role. And then once I got the role, the script changed to "She's a great beauty." I was like, "What's my carriage stopping beauty? Where is that?" But on set, I was kind of, everyone was like, I heard from the costume that people were talking about me, because they were like, oh, there's beautiful, because they read the script, they're the series regular, they're like, oh, who they gonna cast this beautiful girl? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to disappoint. But it's so much fun, and I was always so shy. I had a huge crush on and Joseph Mawle.
Oh yeah.
Who played my on-screen lover. Right. And for me, it's another problem. But I think at the time he just went through a breakup. Oh. So and I'm like super, super shy in with boys. And okay. Back then, because I was like 21, so I was even more shy. And I remember I was in my trailer, and then Jerome Flynn and there's the three leads were sitting outside my trailer, and they were talking. And then basically I had my lunch and I wanted to go for a walk. I opened the door and they were outside. I just closed the door and just sitting inside. Go, oh, I don't know what to say. So that's how shy I was. And so one night, the guy who played my brother Aaron, he and Joseph got along really well. So then when going out for a drink, I was like, I'm coming, invite me. And then I went out for the drink, and then Aaron went to the bathroom. So me and Joseph were alone. And I'm just awkward, and I just and then he's like, I remember so clearly, he said, oh, if you can go anywhere, where would you like to go? Like mountains or sea? And I was like, oh, I love mountains. He said, I'm a sea person. And I'm like, oh, I should have chosen sea. that was just my, yeah, that was, and then I remember going back to London, showing everyone his photo. I said, he was my on-screen lover. But nothing ever happened.
But he's fantastic. Yeah, he's fantastic, especially in this role where he played kind of the evil character, the evil policeman. Yeah, he was the bad guy. Yeah.
And yeah, he's great. So good. Yeah, I just, and he's a pure actor. He always talk about acting and stuff. I learned so much from him. Like I learned how to be a artist.
I see. Okay. Yeah. But as I said, you were really beautiful in the show, and with the costume and stuff like that. So you really played the part. You were the right choice for this part. Yeah. but you also mentioned Peaky Blinders. So can you tell us a bit about that? Maybe you also appeared in an episode of Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, so Peaky Blinders was my first role, and I was fresh out of drama school. I went to audition, and it was in a church, and I couldn't, I was lost, and I asked people, "There's an audition for Peaky Blinders." They're like, "What? Like, and then I remember clearly one person was like, "What name is that?" And, it's gonna be a hit show, and and then so I played this prostitute. So I kind of went in and I prepared my character just like the typical prostitute, seducing clients. Before I started, and I was wearing like a heavy red lipsticks. And before I started, the casting director said, "Oh, I was talking to a director yesterday. I was thinking he was saying she's very sweet and innocent." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just took a makeup wipe, wiped my lips, and I just changed everything on the go. But playing innocent and sweet and vulnerable is kind of my alley. So I was able to do that. Normally, I probably wouldn't, but yeah, that was my first job, and I didn't even know. And then Sam Neill, they arranged a dinner with me, just to ease me in. Like everyone's so nice, and then again, I was so shy, and when we were shooting shooting the scene, and um, and then there's so the director Tom. I have questions. I want to say something, but Sam, he saw me wanting to say something and not dare to. He said, "Tom," and then Tom came in, and then he said, "Go," and I was like, I just said my question. So and then he's so nice. He's like he was like my first screen partner, and he's like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
And and then I just remember I was wearing this kimono, and then back then I didn't know anything about body image or anything. I just thought I didn't even know anything about workouts, so my belly just like, and I didn't care. I was like, and I didn't care about it. And now thinking back, because everyone's trying to get in shape before shooting, and I should have, and I didn't. But funny thing, and the funny thing, I shot Tigertail 2 years ago. Then the makeup artist is Sam Neill's wife.
Oh, okay.
But they were like separated.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. It's maybe better not to mention that in a moment. Otherwise, you'd have a terrible makeup because she would have been very angry.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I read about I think Tigertails, right? Tigertails was the mini series, right? A mini show, just a couple of episodes.
It's a Netflix film. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's by this director called Alan Young. He's an Asian American writer. He's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. So can you tell us just a bit about that? Maybe it is still on Netflix. Probably we can still watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, it's still on Netflix. Yeah, it's a very cool production. I was flew to New York for 22 days. That was my first time in New York, and then I was in Taipei for like weeks, and my parents was able to travel to visit me there, and yeah, it's everyone's super cool. And I remember John Chu is in the show. Now they cut it because they changed the direction of the story. But at the time, John Chu is supposed to be the girl, so who's my daughter grew up, her husband. But I didn't know. I thought, because I didn't know who's gonna play my husband. So I literally went up to, and so I met John Chu in the coffee shop, and I just said, oh, I went up to him and said, and then I was like, I'm your, I think you play my husband.
Okay, fine.
What? And that's and then he's so nice. He invited me to for parties and stuff, and which was super fun. And then we had this producer Kim Roth, and she's like an Oscar-winning producer, and she's like the nicest person, most inspiring woman I've ever met.
Okay.
She's so in person, and she's so encouraging, and she's open, and she's just a strong woman who I just admire so much. And I admire so much, and I want to be her friend. But then when I care about things, I get so shy.
I think you're a strong woman too. I mean, you became an actress. Have you always? Maybe you can tell us a bit how your career started. Did you always want to become an actress?
Yeah, I wanted to be an actress when I was a kid, like 5. And my parents always lied to me. They were like, if you study hard, we'll send you to Beijing Film School, which is like the best school in China for acting. And but before I even turned 15, my parents sent me to UK, and I was very good with math. So I got into LSE and then started my economics, and then I did my master's in international relations, and then I worked in Alibaba for like a year, and then I was like, I wasn't happy. I was just like I first of all, I'm not really into office politics. Like I just don't like drama in real life.
Yeah, only on screen or on stage.
Exactly. So I was the event manager, and I was so stupid. So there's the office manager who I had lunch with every day, and I thought we were good friends. So she was talking about her career problems, and I was like, oh, you should do event management because you kind of have the same skills. You know, you're doing the organization, the arrangement, logistic. But with office manager, you can only go so far. But with event manager, you can go, there's a huge scope of rising. She's like, yeah, that's a good idea. And then she started bullying me because I was an easy target, you know, like I was 21 and I lied about my age and everything. So she kind of like, because she wanted my job. And eventually she did. I quit because I was like, I really, really want to be an actress. It's now or never. So I quit and went to drama school. And eventually she actually got my job. So good for her.
Does she still have the job? Maybe let me know if you want me to spread some terrible tales about her.
No, she's a lovely person. Like okay. She actually, it was a blessing in disguise. If it wasn't for being so unhappy, I probably never will have the courage to pursue my career. Now I'm so happy, like every day.
Yeah, right. But you did live in London, right? For some time.
Yeah, for almost 10 years.
Did you like it?
I loved it. I loved it so much. And I have a group of friends who are who I've been friends with since university.
Great.
Yeah, there was such a support group.
Yeah.
And I left all of that, come to LA.
Yeah, but how is LA like? I mean, I've never been there, but I always wanted to come. So
LA is so, it's different because London is so pretty. I forget how architecture, matters, because LA doesn't have that, and a lot of the places is just a house in a different style everywhere, and it's a mixture of all the different styles. So it's not very pretty to look at. If you come from London or Germany, like I shot Burning I Love You.
Yeah,
In
I read that on IMDb, right? Yeah.
and it was so pretty, and then that really, but I already moved to LA at the time, so I
Mm.
kind of, I was like, oh, this is like London but
Mm.
pretty. So yeah, LA is not as pretty, and it doesn't have a theater based,
Mm.
so I find that people are more driven in the business side of the
Mm.
acting rather than the art side of the acting. Um, but you know, I still, if you find the right crowd, it still works.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the difference is probably, I mean, in cities like London or Berlin, you can see every, if you like, you can see every part of the history of the city. And a
Yeah,
place like LA as a city itself, it doesn't have that much of a long history, I believe. So there's not that
yeah,
much variety. It doesn't go back hundreds and thousands of years like cities in Europe, for example. So maybe
yeah,
that's the difference.
exactly.
But
Yeah,
if I ever get to come over, I'm gonna let you know.
yeah,
Because
please. Yeah,
yeah.
I'll
And
take you.
you will have to let me know if you ever come to visit to London, because
Oh, I would definitely. I wish I can. I keep
yeah,
auditioning for
maybe
roles
soon.
in London.
Hmm?
I keep auditioning for roles in London.
Oh,
Just like,
okay. Yeah.
I go back.
So what are you currently working on? And maybe where can we see you next? Maybe.
I had a film I shot in pandemic. It's called Simone, and
Hmm.
it's my most challenging work so far. Um, but it's a lead role, which was for me was a yay. Um, and it's with the Isai Morales, who's the bad guy in Mission Impossible, the
Hmm.
main, the next two movies, and also he's done so many. So yeah, that was a very cool experience. It's like it's shot in San Juan, with like amazing hardworking people, and then and I find the Latino culture and Chinese culture, especially where I come from, like Tibetan, that kind of culture is so similar, so
Hmm.
passionate, so efficient, and so dramatic too. But they value family, all those things. So it's yeah. The director is actually coming to LA
Hmm.
soon, so I'm gonna meet her. And it's a strong woman directing too. Yeah,
Again, yeah. But,
yeah.
but yeah. So, but when does that come out? From.
Um, I don't know when it's gonna come
Mm.
out yet. They just finished editing, and
Okay.
so we have like a trainer, but it's sold aboard. So they will have a date, and I'll
Yeah.
keep updated.
Okay. Yeah, let me know. I will just check it, and as soon as it is out, I'm gonna spread the news. So we can see you on screen. Yeah.
Uh,
So you know that my website is called London Beyond Time and Place. So there's always a bit of history behind everything that I do. So when you were shooting things like Ripper Street or Peaky Blinders, have you been familiar with the history of these shows, of the
yeah,
history behind it?
yeah. Like I know, I researched about that time, and it's fascinating. And
Mm.
but I don't know much beyond those periods.
Yeah, yeah. But I think both of these shows, they really recreated the times when they were set, and they recreated them very very well. It was
Yeah,
very
the
authentic.
props, the sets are so beautiful,
Yeah,
so beautiful.
yeah. Just like you and your lovely outfit. Really
Yeah.
well. Yeah. And I think I also read on IMDb that I think you played in another uh, Jack the Ripper movie, kind of Jack the Ripper movie. I think it was called Razors: The Return
Sure.
of Jack the Ripper.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was that about?
It was I played Sadie, who's a lesbian gothic, which is
Sounds
super.
interesting.
Yeah, and then we shot in a um near Angel. There's this huge underground club, and then that's a whole building. So
Hmm.
we shot in that building, and it's super historical, and there's so many actual stories of haunted in that building.
Good to know. I'm going to research that.
Yeah, it's super cool. And it's about this writer. He had a group of students to write a horror film because he got this funding. And then he decided to take all of them into that building. And then turns out the building was haunted by Jack the Ripper himself.
Okay.
And because there was a knife that was used when he was gutting people. So that was the actual knife. It was, it was creepy. It was scary. And then we would be doing makeups in a room, and then they would be shooting in another room. And and there's like actual blood on the wall.
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, like you see brown, and then it's like, what's this? They go, blood.
Blood. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. I'm gonna check that out, and I'm gonna check out the movie, of course. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. Just you, of course. That's the main. So yeah, Kunjue. It's been lovely to speak to you so far. Thank you very much indeed. Have I forgotten anything that you wanted to mention? Do you want to tell anything that I forgot to?
Oh no, you're such a great interviewer.
Oh, thank you very much.
I just like bubble away about my unsaid affairs.
Yeah, I know. I often have this with my guests. You know, we'll just keep talking. But right now, I'm going to try to limit it a bit, to maybe do more episodes with the same person instead of doing 1.5 hours of talks with the same person. So maybe I'm going to invite you again to do another talk, if that's okay for you.
Sure. I'm just a fair adventure.
Yeah. And right now I'm trying to kind of hit the 30-minute mark. That's most of the stuff that I'm trying to do now. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, thank you very much.